DeLorean, right? And then you went back in time. And what happened? You step out of the car, you go, pew, goes down, you're in a mall for some reason. You trip and fall, you land on a flower bed, and you kill a set of flowers. And now Ted Danson was officially a famous clown actor, and Cheers is still airing, but the clown version. You know, these bizarre things that can only happen under very, 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 very specific circumstances, right? Something that wouldn't happen in the average time. This chart explains everything you need to know about why these trends are happening, right? It explains everything you need to know. So, first of all, from 2021, around $40K, the price of the average new car has skyrocketed to over $47,000 in 3 years. That is ridiculous. And this is as October 2023. It's worse now. And also, the worst part was, new cars with a starting price below $20K, that's the Nissan Versa, Mitsubishi Mirage, and Kia Rio, all three of those have been discontinued. So not only is the average price of a new car skyrocketing, but the only three options are all gone. Like, just no more existence. None at all. So something's weird gonna happen. I've been smelling the tea leaves. They're grim. I've been smelling these tea leaves, and I've been knowing that something weird is a few weird things are gonna happen. This is not normal at all. This gigantic spike, not normal at all. The car discontinuations, you'd think they would sell more of these. No, I knew some weird stuff was going to be happening. And 3 cars have gotten insanely popular overnight, like that, just because of these circumstances. Okay, so I'm currently on vacation, right? I needed some time to relax. I'm in South Carolina, and I cannot tell you how many of these things I've seen. Oops. Anyway, yeah, I have a Prius on my desk, like, literally. I have a gray 2009 Toyota Prius, and I have a gray Matchbox car, or a red one that I painted gray, that sits on my desk. Whenever I pound it, it falls off. Anyway, in South Carolina, you know, in Florida, the cars down here, the average car is like a 1993 Ford Taurus. I see those all the time, right? That's all I see. You know, some cars where you see it once and then you cannot unsee it. You know, you see that car once and then you look for it and boom, it's everywhere, right? It happens multiple times. Like the Toyota Camry or something like that. This car in South Carolina, oh my God. I saw 25 today. 25! And the even crazier part, those were all just the white ones. I saw 28 in total, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 gray, and the rest were all white. So why is this happening? And how is this happening? So we all know the Nissan Versa, right? Came out in 1982 as this weird little hatchback. You could also get it as a mini sedan if you wanted thing. Just your average Nissan thing. It's been annoying and cutting us off and going slow in the fast lane and fast in the slow lane ever since its conception. And now it's one of the most popular vehicles ever. Because like I said, I do multiple takes just because, usually if the car fell off, I'd do another take, but I'm so tired right now. Essentially, it's very weird. Very, 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 very weird that this car is so just outrageously popular. That's it. Like, I barely see any Nissans per day. Having these be so popular is just insane. So exactly why are these cars getting popular? Well, first of all, people want new cars, and they want decent new cars. They want technology. The Nissan Versa has all of that to offer, and specifically the ones that I'm seeing is the 2022 to 2020 to the brand new versions of these, right? Which is interesting. Now, the reason why this is happening, you may have had parents growing up, and they may have just wanted a new car. You have a baby on the way, you have crap, you have your kid, Cheryl from work's being a bitch again, you need a new car, you need something that's not going to break, yada, 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 right? You just need something that will not break, I remember, regular car reviews put it, once he's in kindergarten, we can breathe again, right? You just need something that's not going to break down, going to be reliable, you need something new, you need a Nissan. You don't, but you think you do. And this is what they end up buying. And they're so ridiculously cheap. So this is the 8th generation. This is the brand new Sentra. I could buy it right now. It is, in my opinion, uglier. I think I would definitely prefer this look to that look. But Nissan's just kind of going their own way here. Of course, 149 horsepower, that's low. 30 to 40 city miles per gallon, not bad. 146 pound-feet of torque, and starts at $21,180, which isn't bad. Here's the 2022 Sentra. You can tell a difference. This car is very, very special because it's almost luxurious, but not really. You know what I mean? Car companies like Nissan, Toyota, Subaru, they can do things where they make a nice car that's decently luxurious on the interior, and yet it's cheaper than most of the other alternatives. How do they do that? Connections, suppliers, right? Toyota has the heated seat vendor or whatever from Lexus. They can put that in their Toyota model for cheaper than it will take the average bear, right? The average car company. That's what they do here. I mean, look at this interior. First of all, I'm not a fan of Nissan at all. You would know that I have many issues with them, the way that they do business, yada, yada, yada. But this interior looks like one that I could lean back in. First of all, right, the steering wheel is nice and pleasant, right? It's not screaming out at you, right? It's not aggressive, just nice. You have this nice texture on the leather seating, which makes it look really inviting and comfortable. The interior, I've sat in one of these, just feels very nice and comforting. You have dual zone climate control and a leather-wrapped steering wheel, which is very, very good. You also have this annoying sticky-uppy screen, but all the tech is recent. It's very nice. The AC blows cold. Absolutely just perfect, right? One of the best, most perfect cars out there. It's luxurious without being expensive. You know what I mean? Like, when you're on the freeway, this car is nice. It's quiet. It's solid. It drives relatively nice. And like I've said, they're so cheap. Now, you're not just going to hear me jabber on, blah, 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 they're so cheap, you know, and just jabber on about that. I actually have proof. $20,000, $17,000 for a 2-year-old car? This is great. And remember, this is Carvana we're talking about. Carvana, the car company that won't even let you get out the door unless you spend like $10,000, and that won't even sell cars older than 2010. And look at how many of them are for sale. So many are for sale for no reason. And they just get cheaper. I mean, if we sort by lowest price, I think that's a pretty good record for Carvana. That's one of the cheaper cars that I've seen. So this is the SV. This is what most people are buying. I'm going to look at this, and I'm saying this is a fantastic car. $17,000, that's a very, very competitive, very, very good price. The headlights are nice and inviting, and one of my favorite parts about this car and why I think a lot of people buy it is because it 100% looks, you have to tell me, it looks just like an Altima. And the Altima, you know, when you're buying a cheap car, a lot of people often feel like it's not really a car, right? When you buy a Toyota Yaris, it feels more like a shopping cart in Cars Club. You know, you don't feel like a car. This, you know, like I said, a lot of cars, cheaper cars, feel like shopping carts turned into cars. This feels like a car watered down, which is perfect. It feels solid, easy to drive, just so nice. It's very modern in the front, you know, what you would expect, but it's not over the top. The wheels are perfect size. They're not 20,000 inches like every other car company is out there. They're decently sized, pretty wheels. I think they go with the car very, very well. The doors are equally proportionate, which is great. The mirrors look good. All the body panels are nice and straight. Good build quality. Sentra SV. Remember, this is the SV. This is like one of the base models. This is what most people are going to be buying. You have a shifter, no stupid little diddly thing. Shifter, dual zone climate control. You have a driver's assistant screen. You have again, a very nice to hold steering wheel. Of course, you have cloth seats, but they look very, very nice. Of course, you have your red sport stitching there. This is my favorite Nissan. I'm sorry, I would buy one of these. But the pie in the sky, oh, by the way, this is a great one. They can sell for so cheap. So cheap. Like, look at this one here. This is a 1.6 SV. $12,000. And it only has 14,000 miles. 43,000 miles. These cars are so ridiculously cheap. It's amazing. They're so easy to drive. They're so nice. They're so laid back. They're perfect. Now, this isn't a Sentra. This is a Versa, which is why it's suspiciously so cheap. All of these are Versas. All of these are Versas. How did I not notice that all of these are Versas? How did I not notice? Am I just a raging idiot? I think I'm a raging idiot. It's the Sentra. Am I an idiot or what? Anyway, look at this. $9,000. This car, for $9,000, this car slaps. And also, they've kept the size relatively the same. This is the size of which an Altima used to be, which is a very, very good size. Let me tell you, I like Carvana just because you can, fun, scroll aroundy thingy. You can totally carry your kids in this. I would feel rock solid in an accident. Again, the interior feels solid. Buy this car, but don't buy this car. As with anything happens, what are the drawbacks? There's always a drawback, there's always an issue. Nissan CVT transmissions are the first thing you're going to experience. Now, the Sentra is one of Nissan's best sellers, which means it's usually going to be pretty water airtight in this debate, right? In this argument for what to buy, right? Because they've been making it for so long that you would think that they would have aired it out, which is generally true. There are only really two issues you're going to come across with this. Everything else has been ironed out. For the most part, there are some freak, in a Toyota, you have a very low chance of something freak happening. What I mean by that is your car randomly blows a head gasket from something for the factory. Not something that's an issue on all cars, right? You have a very lower chance than that, the more expensive and, the more close to Toyota you get. Nissan, you have a higher chance of that happening, but for the most part, the CVT is your first weak link. They've been making these forever. I mean, really. Just forever. They've been making these for so long. They actually helped pioneer the CVT transmission. But they suck. I mean, CVT transmissions in a whole, they don't suck. I actually think CVTs have a perfect place. But they often need to be replaced. They often don't last that long. They often have tons and tons of issues. And also, Nissan, if it was like they had all these issues and Nissan was very apologetic, kissing your feet, kissing your toes, please buy another one of our cars, please. We will never do this again to you. They just don't care. They refuse to do anything about it. That's what Nissan, that's what they act like when they do this, which is ridiculous. So it would be one thing if Nissan, they were issuing a recall. They were right on it for you. The customer service was top notch. You're not going to get that. In fact, if you even say the word CVT, they'll kick you out of the dealership. The other thing that's going to be the issue is the gasoline direct injection. Now, this is a fiery topic. As always, when you're burning things, as you know, your gas combustion engine, right, you have your two little things, the air-gas mixture thing, and then the in and the out, and then your spark plugs, and then your piston. Compresses, big boom, exits, enters, compresses, big boom, exits, compresses, sparks, compresses, big boom, out, right? That's how your engine works. Just imagine that sequence, just over and over again. Port fuel injection is what most cars use. So the gasoline is injected right here, right? It sprays over the nozzle, into the thing, nozzle closes, spark plug ignites, piston goes up, gets pushed back down, valve is released. That's how it works. Gasoline direct injection has this nozzle going down here, or to the side, right? It's not spraying in this little cavity here, it's off to the side. And your engine works completely as normal. So, why is this an issue and why would you be worried about this? I'm doing a very simple explanation here. Keep in mind that, and I'm going to take a sip of water after this because I earned it and I can't do this all in one take. If you think that I can, then you make your own video, right? So, because it's very hard. Essentially, as always when you're burning things, there's going to be crud, there's going to be muck, there's going to be carbon. Just a bunch of shit, right? Imagine, set a piece of paper on fire. There's just going to be a bunch of shit left over, right? That cakey garbage. And these things need to be agile, and they need to be quick to work, right? Very, very quick to work. Snap, quick, open, close. Because remember, it's spinning at 1,000 RPM. Times 1,000? Yeah, right. 1,000 RPM. That's what I need. Click, 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 click. That's a lot of clicky, 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 right? And that needs to be agile right there. That crap can build up on it. Now, if it's gasoline fuel injection, gasoline, one of the best things it does, it cleans. If you pour gasoline on your hands, you'll be clean. You'll be dehydrated, but technically, yes, you will be clean. It cleans off the nozzle as it's going in, and then the exit nozzle doesn't really have a problem, right? That's just how normal engines work. Nissan uses gasoline direct injection engines. So why I reveal why this is so terrible, I'm just gonna... What are its advantages? Well, first... This, it just kind of, spittle dribbles out here, and then boom, right? With this, you can control exactly where in the chamber it happens. You can you can control how hard, and therefore you get better gas mileage, right? In my opinion, usually, the more that the car knows, right, the more that the car can control with how its engine is working, the better gas mileage you get, if it's tuned that way, right? But usually, car companies want it to be tuned that way, right? So the gasoline direct injection, you get better gas mileage, right? And you get the power. It's a debate, but yeah. The bad part about that is you get better gas mileage, but it's not cleaning that nozzle off, which means it can get caked up with shit. Now, there are two things that can happen. Usually both of them happen. Number one, the shit, remember, it's pulling up, which means it compacts it every single time. It compacts the built-up carbon and whatever the crap. Compacts it so much where it forces it to stay open, which would be very bad because then your engine wouldn't be working. And, that's pretty much what happens, right? Sometimes it can just get, have all the schmutz on there. Having schmutz anywhere in your engine is already not a good thing. Having it build up is already bad enough. Like I said, the second worst thing is if your engine actually cannot function because it's all clogged up. Now, I don't know, a lot of people should know this about engines. It's not remarkably easy to open them, right? It's really not easy to just open them. There's also a weird debate on whether you should do port fuel injection and direct. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Anyway, yeah. So, you're going to get better gas mileage, but engines aren't easy to open. It's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. Very difficult. That's what this car uses. So, you have the CVT transmission that's working against every single move you make. Oh, by the way, this color is very nice. And then on top of that, of course, you have your standard CVT transmission. That's pretty much it. That's why these cars are so fuel efficient, right? That's the first car on this list, right? The Nissan Sentra. These have become, I've seen literally so many, like 28, 27, so many cars. And we can see the sales, they peaked there in 2017. They're going down now, but like these years are where I'm finding the most amount of people own that specific 8th generation. Now, that's if you want a new car, right? That's taking up the Nissan category. What's taking up the Kia Rio's category, right? Because the category. The Nissan Versa was designed to be nice. It was designed to make you feel like you're buying a new car, right? The Kia Rio is designed squeaky. The Kia Rio is designed more like a used car, right? So what car's taking its place? This ugly nugget, specifically the sedan, not the hatchback. The Ford Fiesta. Now, I don't know if any of you know Ford, but you should know that they're real cheap. Sorry, I'm not repeatedly having stomach issues or problems. It's just I have a very leathery chair that I got, and it's very squeaky when I sit on it, and I love to readjust myself constantly because I can never stay in the same place at the same time. Anyway, these cars I'm seeing so common with families, like 4-kid families. I'm seeing these be so common. The other day, right, we're driving by around 1, I saw 4 of these parked next to each other. That's a ridiculous number, right? So, why are people buying these? Well, first of all, if you have kids, they're going to kick, they're going to scream, they're going to kick, they're going to destroy the entire car. This thing will punch them right back if they kick anything. This has a durable, plasticky, clipped Ford interior, ain't going anywhere. It's also incredibly easy to use. It's not going to distract you while driving. And it's also very safe. An IHS Top Safety pick for 2012. Oh, it's just very intuitive. The air conditioning blows cold. You have extra storage. The seats aren't that awful. This car is just designed so you can tolerate it just enough to get your family, right, where you need to go. The 2016s I've seen are a little bit more popular. The newer, they're more popular. Often people just buy these cars because they need something cheap and reliable, And like I said, for a while there, people weren't having kids. Now people are having kids again. They're back to doing that. And when you have so many kids, you often can't afford a car. And you're scrambling, what do we need? To the average car buyer, by the way, this is the freaky 4 in 2008 version. To a car buyer, right, a regular car buyer, a American-made, which sounds reliable, debatable, automatic transmission, sedan, sounds perfect. Now, why are people buying these? It's not the new car crowd. So, again, like I said, parents, I've seen so many families driving these cars just because they want something cheap and reliable. They're just, overall, exceptionally good cars. No one bought them when they were new because, these were the cheap cars when they were new. Now these are turning into, like, the Fiat Multiplas, like the family cars. This is why they're great. This is a 2012, right, so square in the middle between 2008 and 2016. Ford Fiesta S going for $2,000 with 168,000 miles. Now, cars are interesting, right? Cars are very interesting. But for $2,000, this is a steal of a deal. You are not going to get a better car for $2,000. Manual windows, sure, but the windows roll up, and you're going to feel safe and secure if someone tries to punch them out, right? You have a back seat. You have an armrest. That's good enough. You have a little fake shelf there, right? You have a partial shelf. You have air conditioning. You have heating. I would feel perfectly comfortable taking this to school. So many people own these. Here's a decent one. This is a $10,000 2016 SE, like the one I saw the other day. Simple, just simple, easy, reliable. And also, these cars look very modern, with families. They're just hitting them. They're just great vehicles. People love them. You can also have modern technology in them, which is not what families are looking for, but also not bad either. Just imagine this, right? This is exactly where where a car like this comes into play. Remember, we essentially just don't have this anymore. Where a car like this comes into play, you have the family car, right? You already have the family vehicle. You just need a car that can get you to work, take the kids to school, maybe if they need to come with you. That's this car. It's cheap. It's reliable. You're never going to need to touch it once again. And guess what? You can park it in your bathroom, right? It's so tiny. It's perfect, right? This isn't so that the entire family can pack in. This is just so that dad can get to work and, or mom can get to work and then the other parent can just drive the bigger car. That's what these cars are for, and that's what they're perfect for. Another thing that people don't talk about, by the outside, you would guess that this car would have no storage space and the seats would be right up against the trunk. It is absolutely not like that. This has one of the giganticest trunks ever. Now, is it a huge trunk? No. But considering that you have 2 inches before the spoiler meets the glass of your rear windscreen, that's pretty dang good. This is another Fiesta ST, just a cute, nice, little, reliable car. People need cheap, reliable transportation. Never going to go out of style. 60/40 split folding rear seats. Yeah. And the last car on this list, I'm so tired, is this Mirage. It's got to be the ES, it's got to have the hubcaps, and it's got to have this grille design. That means it's either between 2017 or 2020. These are so common. So common. These, right? Like I said, families need something reliable. Teens need something reliable to drive in. I'm seeing a lot of couples buy this, actually. Now, remember, I'm profiling here. The Nissan Versa seems to be for people who want something newer. The Fiesta is for families who want something older and more reliable. The Mirage is what happens when you don't have great credit, right? Let's say you're dating someone, right? And you need a car to get to high school or college, wherever you are. High school or college or wherever you're going, right? It's perfect. It's cheap. It's reliable. It's durable. It'll get you wherever you need to go. It's the perfect car. That's why I'm seeing a lot of these. And also, they're not incredibly techy, but they are tech forward. Like, they're definitely not bad cars. They're actually pretty decent cars. This is a $5,000 for 2017, and safe, right? Safe is a big concern for parents. And cars like this with airbags and everything, that meets all the requirements. That's pretty much all I really have to say here. All these cars are pretty well, decently reliable, and if you bought any of them, that's okay. Now, if I had to buy one of these cars, which one would I buy? The Versa. I mean, come on, it's the nicest car out of this list. It's the most expensive, and it's the one that I would buy. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next video.